Hello and welcome back to TST. If you're new to the channel, tap on the subscription button and press the notification bell so you can receive news and updates that you can rely on daily. Due to a temporary lockdown on pretty much everything for the emergency situation, we're currently unable to report news from our studio, and instead, we're reporting the channel remotely from home. Well, stay tuned and keep watching.
With the virus crisis raging, Pelosi and Schiff ramp up new Trump investigations. The team is back in action. On Thursday, Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced the creation of the House Select Committee on the Coronavirus Crisis. The new panel will have the authority to investigate any aspect of the virus emergency and the Trump administration's handling of it. Pelosi's announcement came a day after House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff called for a 9/11-style independent commission to investigate, quote-unquote, mistakes in the virus response. Shortly after that, Schiff told the Washington Post that in Congress, House Democrats must investigate the Trump administration's handling of the virus testing and the government's distribution of personal protective equipment for healthcare workers. We need to make sure there's no favoritism in terms of political allies, no discrimination against states or governors based on lack of presidential flattery, Schiff said, indicating the probe would be aimed squarely at President Trump. Less than 3 months after sending the Senate impeachment articles to remove the president from office and less than 2 months after the Senate trial ended in Trump's acquittal, the Pelosi Schiff team is up and running again. In a Dear Colleague letter, Pelosi said she envisions a coronavirus committee along the lines of the Truman Committee, created shortly before World War II to investigate defense spending. Pelosi said the new committee, which will be headed by Majority Whip Jim Clyburn, will be, quote-unquote, bipartisan. It is not entirely clear why the Speaker said that. All committees in the House are bipartisan and run by the majority party. The Intelligence Committee, run by Schiff, that pushed impeachment through the House was bipartisan, and the new committee will be too. Pelosi also stressed that the Select Committee will oversee the spending of $2 trillion provided for in the latest coronavirus relief bill. That is certainly a huge amount of money, the spending of which will have to be scrutinized for waste. Congress has a legitimate responsibility to oversee such an enormous federal expenditure. But Pelosi also gave Democrats room to go after Trump for whatever reason they choose. The committee will be empowered to examine all aspects of the federal response to the coronavirus, she wrote. Among those powers, she added, will be the ability to press to ensure that the federal response is based on the best possible science and guided by the nation's best health experts. That could mean just about anything. Republicans are wary of watching Pelosi and Schiff resume their efforts to target the president. Schiff told the Post this committee is already examining virus warnings the intelligence community reportedly gave the White House. First, some in the GOP argue the recent relief bill had all sorts of oversight mechanisms built into it. That is what a lot of the debate surrounding the bill was about. There's a special oversight commission to be created in Congress, a special inspector general to monitor spending through the Treasury Department, and another committee of inspector generals to watch things. Pelosi and other Democrats insisted on strong oversight measures in the bill, and then turned around and created yet another body in the Select Committee. This seems really redundant, Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy said after Pelosi's announcement. And there's the fact that Pelosi's colleagues were the ones who, during the debate over the relief bill, tried to insert costly Democratic policy priorities that had nothing to do with the coronavirus. Many were ultimately left out of the bill, but some, such as $25 million for the Kennedy Center and $75 million for public broadcasting, became law. And guess what? The Kennedy Center intensified the outrage when, after the big grant from Congress, it nevertheless stopped paying its musicians. Congress should look into why Nancy Pelosi insisted on $25 million for the Kennedy Center, said Republican Representative Brad Wenstrup in a text exchange. The center has not been converted to a hospital to treat coronavirus patients, but it's reported they are laying off most of their staff. Wenstrup, who is a doctor and wants after-action reviews at federal agencies when the virus crisis is over, said he supports a bill for Congress to rescind the $25 million grant. Republican Representative Matt Gaetz texted, "I'd rather have a select committee to investigate how so much liberal pork got into the COVID response bill. Those are legitimate concerns. But Republicans have yet another worry. Some House Democrats have been engaged in a long campaign to remove the president from office, using whatever weapon. Russia, Stormy Daniels, Ukraine, Michael Cohen, emoluments, whatever might be available at the moment. Now, the United States is in the midst of a terrible life and death crisis with the virus and its health and economic effects. And the investigation machine is revving up once more. It's the same old, said Representative Jim Jordan, ranking Republican on the House Judiciary Committee. They never miss a beat to get political and go after the president. He added.
Share your thoughts and responses in the comments down below. If you've liked this report, let us know by tapping that like button down below, share the news among friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more news and updates on TST. I'm David Ravine, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, stay home, stay healthy, and stay safe.